Imagine for a moment a world thousands of years ago where civilizations like the Egyptians, Mayans, or ancient Indians were capable of engineering feats so incredible they seem impossible even by today's standards. This idea forms the basis of one of history's most tantalizing mysteries: lost ancient technologies. Could it be that these ancient peoples possessed knowledge and tools far more advanced than we give them credit for? And if so, how did this knowledge simply vanish? Let's start with one of the most famous examples: the Great Pyramid of Giza. This structure, over 4,500 years old, consists of millions of limestone blocks, each weighing several tons. The precision with which they are placed so exact that even a modern razor blade can't fit between some of the stones raises questions about the tools and techniques used. Some suggest that the ancient Egyptians had access to advanced technologies or methods, possibly using sophisticated surveying equipment, or even lost knowledge of how to manipulate stone. Could they have known something we don't? Mainstream archaeology credits human ingenuity and sheer manpower, but many wonder if that explanation really covers it. Another example is the Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece. This 2,000-year-old artifact is a complex device with intricate gears, often described as the world's first analog computer. It could predict astronomical events, and its construction is so advanced that it seems out of place for its time. The question remains, how did the Greeks acquire such precise mechanical knowledge? And more intriguingly, what other ancient technologies like it have been lost to time? Then, there's the mystery of Vimana, described in ancient Indian texts. These were flying machines, often depicted in stories as capable of interstellar travel and immense destructive power. While some dismiss them as purely mythological, others argue that these texts contain references to actual technological knowledge that has since disappeared. Could ancient cultures have developed technologies that allowed them to achieve flight thousands of years before modern aviation? Let's not forget ancient stone-cutting techniques. In places like Peru's Sacsayhuaman fortress or Bolivia's Pumapunku, massive stones were cut and shaped with such precision that it's hard to explain using the tools we believe were available at the time. Some of these stones fit together so perfectly without mortar that they have withstood earthquakes for centuries. How did these ancient builders achieve this level of precision without metal tools or advanced machinery? There's speculation that they may have had access to advanced materials or methods. Some even suggest the use of sound waves or other unknown energy sources to move and shape the stones. What about the Baghdad Battery? Discovered in Iraq and believed to date back over 2,000 years, these clay pots with copper cylinders inside might have been able to produce electricity. Though its exact use remains debated, some believe it could have been an early form of battery, used for electroplating or medicinal purposes. The idea that ancient people could harness electricity is mind-boggling, especially when we think about how electricity wasn't officially discovered until the 18th century. We also have the Nazca lines in Peru, giant geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, visible only from the sky. These massive, perfectly straight lines and animal figures raise questions about how the ancient Nazca people created such large-scale works of art with such precision. Some have suggested they may have had access to aerial technologies or even primitive forms of hot air balloons to design and execute these massive drawings. So what happened to these technologies? Many believe that these ancient innovations were lost due to catastrophic events like wars, natural disasters, or the fall of civilizations. In other cases, it's thought that knowledge was passed down in secret, guarded by a select few who may have been wiped out over time. Some even speculate that ancient knowledge was intentionally suppressed or destroyed during religious or political purges, erasing vast stores of wisdom and technological advancements. It's a fascinating thought, isn't it, that we might be walking in the footsteps of ancient civilizations who had already figured out some of the greatest mysteries we are only now rediscovering. Could there be ancient technologies lying beneath our feet, waiting to be uncovered, that could change everything we think we know about history and progress? In many ways, lost ancient technologies invite us to open our minds. We often think of history as linear, with modern humans at the pinnacle of technological advancement. But what if history is more like a cycle? What if ancient civilizations, in their own ways, had their golden ages of technological mastery, only to have those advances disappear, lost to the sands of time? We may never know the full extent of what's been forgotten, but each new discovery offers a glimpse into a world far more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined.